KRTY Los Gatos, San Jose. Locally owned and operated by KRTY Limited. It's time for the KRTY On-Air Music Meeting. Julie and Nate with the songs you love or hate. We're going to play some new music here, and this is a chance for you to help us decide which song should be on the radio. Now here's KRTY Program Director Julie Stevens and General Manager Nate Deaton.
This is the On-Air Music Meeting I have been waiting so long for. I am so excited about this. I know I say that every time we do one of these album previews, but I'm telling you, you people know me well enough to know, and you know how much of a supporter I've been of this lady. We are going to feature the new album from Ingrid Andress. And you know how this works. I pick one, Nate picks one, the artist picks one, and the label picks one. We're going to start right here with Ingrid's choice. Bad Advice off this album. We're going to play it, and then she's going to come back and talk about it. We're going to play 4 songs from the new Ingrid Andress album, Ladylike. Here we go. It starts.
Drove down to Trader Joe's, straight to aisle 5, got a bottle of Merlot, 'cause my friend told me if I drank the whole thing, then I wouldn't think about you, and after glass 2, well, I'd be brand new. I tried a one-night kind of guy, made out in the parking lot, and that's so not my style, but my sister said I gotta kiss a lot of frogs before I find my prince, so that's just what I did, but I'm closer to getting over you, no closer to heartache being through. Every remedy, a stupid thing I try, ain't helping like it should, but at least I'm getting good at taking bad advice. Oh, bad advice. Yeah, every remedy, a stupid thing I try, ain't helping like it should, but at least I'm getting good. Turning singles into doubles, falling out of love and into trouble. I'm so messed up, trying to forget us. Yeah, I'm down just to try about anything once. I'm no closer to getting over you, no closer to heartache being through. Every remedy, a stupid thing I try, ain't helping like it should, but at least I'm getting good at taking bad advice. Oh, bad advice. Yeah, every remedy, a stupid thing I try, ain't helping like it should, but at least I'm getting good at taking closer to heartache being through. Every remedy, a stupid thing I try, ain't helping like it should, but at least I'm getting good at taking bad advice. Oh, bad advice. Every remedy, a stupid thing I try, ain't helping like it should, but at least I'm getting good at taking bad advice.
This is the On-Air Music Meeting. I'm Julie Stevens, the Program Director. Our General Manager, Nate Deaton, is here, and this is where sometimes we play 4 songs from 4 different artists, and sometimes, like today, we get to feature an album we love, love, love. And Ingrid Andress is here to help us feature that album. It's called Ladylike, and that song was her choice off this album. Hi, Ingrid.
Hello.
Thank you so much for doing this. So you have to talk about Bad Advice and why that was your choice off this album.
Yes. Well, Bad Advice, I feel like it shows my personality a little bit because most of my songs are sad. So I feel like I need people to know that I'm really not super sad all the time, and I don't take myself that seriously. So this song was kind of like my way of being like, okay, here's another side of me that you might not know. And, I am just figuring out what I'm doing with my life. And, sometimes I don't have it all together. So.
Well, and if I remember right, from when you played the rodeo club, this is actually what you start your shows with, right?
I do, yeah. I try to keep it lively at the beginning before I, break everybody's hearts.
Over and over again.
Yeah,
yes, exactly.
So it is really, really difficult to have a first song from a brand new artist go number one. In fact, I think I can count on one hand artists that have been able to do that.
Well, and if you had a female artist into the mix, you probably don't even need one hand.
Even more so, yeah. So do you have just like a plethora of songs that you've written and you narrowed it down to these, or are you just that good at knowing how to connect with people and you had these 11 and here we go? Which is it?
Yeah. Well, I feel like because I've been writing for so long, all these songs, like some of them were written 3 years ago. So I guess to me, I've just been stockpiling. And these were the ones that to me sounded storyline-wise that they would all work together. So it really wasn't that difficult in picking out which ones I wanted to be on the album. And the reason why I did 8 songs is because I didn't want any filler songs, just to make it be like a long album. I just wanted every song to tell a story and be meaningful.
I think that's the interesting thing about this song is of the 5 songs, now the 4 that we're going to play and More Hearts Than Mine, a lot of debut albums don't have what I would consider 5 hits on them.
Right.
And these all could be just that. I mean, More Hearts Than Mine. I mean, I've told the story before, and we're not playing More Hearts Than Mine today because, frankly, we've already played the crap out of it. But and we'll continue to. But I've told this story before. But the first time I heard that song, the very first time I heard that song, it was in possibly the worst possible place that I've ever heard a song. And
oh my gosh, I know.
and it was
in totally remembers.
Oh, we've talked, and the guy before her who played in this room, it was in a winery in a for lack of a better word, I don't know, the worst acoustic room ever in the history of acoustic rooms. And the guy who played before her was so angry. I just called him the Angry Man. So, but that song was so good, it overcame the setting, and I think that's what captured me most about you the first time. And now that I've gotten to know you and seen you other times, it's just so amazing. But you're right. It's that your personality is such that it doesn't match the songs.
Totally. I mean, they're real thoughts and feelings that I have, but it's like, I'm not going to walk around like, brooding all the time because that's not fun. Just sometimes.
All right, we are talking to Ingrid Andress, and it's her new album, Ladylike. Her pick was Best Advice. Nate's pick is The Stranger. So we're going to play that and come back and talk about it.
I can't remember the last time we sat at the table, just the 2 of us. Looked into each other's eyes and made the choice to choose us. Let's trace the steps of where we've been to make it feel like home again. And you play the stranger, I'll play the girl at the bar. The same place where this all got started. Sometimes
This is the On Air Music Meeting. I'm Julie Stevens, the program director. Our general manager, Nate Deaton, is here. And today, Ingrid Andress is here with us. Her brand new album is out, Ladylike, and it is pretty unusual, not only for us to pick a brand new artist and feature their album, but also to have a brand new artist be a female and pick their album, and for both Nate and I to be so excited about an album. It is just... so you have to tell us about The Stranger. Tell us the story behind that song.
Well, I feel like my generation has grown up watching Disney movies, and we all think that love is like this super everlasting romantic thing that just happens, and then you live happily ever after. And the more life that I've lived, I think love songs sort of don't give us the full story of how difficult love is sometimes, and that you don't always feel in love with the person you're with. But there still is like hope in that. So to me, I wrote this song to kind of deal with those thoughts I had just with relationships that I've seen, like with my parents or with, other couples that are my friends. It's like everybody has their own story. And I think it's okay to not feel like you're super in love all the time.
And there is nothing, and I mean nothing, like Shelter in Place to prove that theory.
Yeah.
Totally. This is the perfect time for the song to come out because everyone's going to be like, oh, I feel that right now.
It is like
with my spouse.
It is. And again, the first time I heard this song, I don't remember exactly. I think it was at Live in the Vineyard this year, but our at the end of last year. But anyway, it's just everything that you say about it is exactly right. I mean, I've been married for 33 years, and there are days that you do and days that you don't. But in the long run, you're still in love with the person that you married 33 years ago, and especially after 3 weeks of being in house together. But but not necessarily 24 hours a day. So
yeah, after this, we're going to call Nate's wife and see how she's feeling about this. Yeah.
Yep.
But anyway, it's just such an amazing song, and I think it shows everything about what a great writer you are. And I think the reason that we're so enamored, I know that we're so enamored with you in this record is just we're such, as you know, such huge fans of writers, and these songs are so well written.
Thank you. Yes,
now,
lyrics are important.
Did you write them all yourself, or did you have co-writes on all of them?
All the ideas started with myself, just in my apartment, but I tend to bring in just like a small group of friends or writers. I keep the writing circle pretty small, just with people I trust. And I like writing with them because it allows me to get more feedback on different people's perspectives so that I'm not just entirely writing from my perspective. I want other people to be able to relate to what I'm saying. So I think it's important to have other people a part of that process.
Well, that brings us to my pick off this album, the brand new Ingrid Andress album. It's called Ladylike, and and this is my pick.
Julie was playing this song, I think, before it was even
anything
done.
So we're going to play the song, and then I'm going to come back and tell you a funny story about this song. So here we go. This is Both from Ingrid Andress.
You're keeping it casual, nothing too meaningful, nothing irrational, no. So why do you text me, saying you miss me, staying in my place? It's kinda confusing, you're blurring the lines, you're playing two sides, just make up your mind. You can tell me to stay, you can push me away, have space or get close, but you can't do both. You can kiss me goodnight, or kiss me goodbye, baby, love me or don't, but you can't do up your mind. You can tell me to stay. You can push me away. Have space or get close. But you can't do both. You can kiss me goodnight or kiss me goodbye. Baby, love me or don't. But you can't do both. You can tell me to stay. You can push me away. Have space or get close. But you can't do both. You can kiss me goodnight or kiss me goodbye. Baby, love me or don't. But you can't do both. You can't do both. Why do you text me, saying you miss me, staying in my head? It's kinda confusing. You're blurring the lines, you're playing two sides. Just make up your mind.
This is the On Air Music Meeting. I'm Julie Stevens, the Program Director. Our General Manager, Nate Deaton, is here. We are featuring 4 songs off the brand new Ingrid Andress album, Ladylike, and that is my pick off this album. Nate picks one, the artist picks one, the label picks one. That one was mine. And let me tell you a funny story about that, Ingrid.
I'm not sure it's funny, but it is now.
Laughing.
It's funnier now than it was at the time.
So
boy.
I heard More Hearts Than Mine and went bananas. And I hardly ever get that excited about a song I heard. So I thought, well, I wonder if she's got anything else. Well, I found that. I found both on YouTube. And I went, oh, my word, this is better than that one. So I was doing the morning show by myself. So I downloaded it. And I played it on the air. And Nate texts me at 6 o'clock in the morning, and he goes, please, God, tell me that was out there somewhere and it wasn't one you got from me.
Oh my gosh.
Because I had
That would be
I had the demo, and I think there was some long drawn story which we're not going to tell about someone else could have cut it, and you decided not to and hold it for yourself, which was the right idea. But the fact of the matter is, she played it that morning, and I about fell out of my chair.
He did. He was
right.
Yeah, he was texting me angry texts in his underwear. It was a thing.
But anyway, it's such, going back to the whole theme of this thing, that song is just so well written and almost, I would say, anthemic for it could be either way, men or women in that situation.
Totally. Yeah, I feel like I wrote it because it was inspired actually by my friends joining Bumble for the first time. And they were not having a great
Wait. What is Bumble?
Oh, it is a dating app on your phone to where you basically like find somebody you think is attractive and start texting them. Very super deep, very deep. So very meaningful relationships. So, but my friends were getting frustrated because obviously, not everybody is in it for just a meaningful relationship. So I took their story and wrote about it.
Oh, wow. Well, it's
look. Not only is this an album preview, it's an education on the internet for you.
It is. I'm here to help you.
That is so true. It is my new favorite song. I mean, I love More Hearts Than Mine, but I love both too. Do you think it'll ever be a single?
I mean, I don't know. I wish. I feel like I'm still learning about the whole process of country radio, and I mean, I would hope that a lot of my songs are singles, but you never know.
Yeah, that's true. That is.
I would think it would be. I don't know. It just it's an interesting commentary, and we could talk about it briefly because we talk about things like this in the show. Because the lifespan of a single these days is taking so long, especially for new artists, it depends on how many singles you get in. I would think following More Hearts Than Mine would probably be the last song we're going to play, which is Ladylike. But I would think both has a single place.
For sure.
I hope so. Oh,
I mean,
I hope all
I
four
don't
of these
necessarily
songs.
think The Stranger would be a single. You'll probably, especially as a prolific as a writer you are, I think by the time that would be single-ish, you would be ready for a new project. But I would think both would be a single.
So are you worried?
I hope so.
Are you worried, Ingrid, about having enough time to write now that, things are starting to take off? You're going to be, well, not right now, but you're going to be extraordinarily busy. Do you worry about having enough time to write?
Well, currently, no, because I feel like that's really all I'm doing in self-isolation. But I think there's always time to write if you give yourself the right headspace and the right room to create. I think for me, it will just be setting aside like a week at a time or like a couple days to go somewhere and write just to like get in the right headspace. So I think as long as you actively work at it and keep that muscle moving, I'm not too worried.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. We now have the label's choice off the album Ladylike. Ingrid Andress, thank you so much for taking the time. We're going to play this. We're going to give you a little time to talk about it because I know a lot of women out there think it's their anthem. In fact, after I played both on the air, I heard from so many women and went, no, that's not the one. It's Ladylike. That's the one. So we'll go ahead and play this and then come back and you can talk about it.
Perfect.
I drink tequila straight, haven't brushed my hair in days, and I'll kiss on the first date if I'm really feeling it. I don't even own a dress, bite my nails when I get stressed, do whatever for attention if I'm needing it. Controversial, so outspoken, I've been told I'm not ladylike, but I'm a lady like, whoa, I could bring you to your knees and get you kicked out the garden of Eden. Untamable, unframeable, Mona Lisa, oh, kiss you like a whiskey fire, turn around, leave your heart in a riot, lipstick in a cigarette pack on the dash, I'm a lady like that. Sometimes I forget not to talk about politics when I'm in the middle of me getting hit on. Sometimes I'm not polite, don't bite my tongue, I speak my mind. Let curse words fly when shit goes wrong. Controversial, so outspoken, I've been told I'm not ladylike, but I'm a lady like, whoa, I could bring you to your knees and get you kicked out the garden of Eden. Untamable, unframeable, Mona Lisa, oh, kiss you like a whiskey fire, turn around, leave your heart in a riot, lipstick in a cigarette pack on the dash, I'm a lady like that. I'm a lady like that. Controversial, so outspoken, I've been told I'm not ladylike, but I'm a lady like, whoa, I could bring you to your knees and get you kicked out the garden of Eden. Untamable, unframeable, Mona Lisa, oh, kiss you like a whiskey fire, turn around, leave your heart in a riot, lipstick in a cigarette pack on the dash, I'm a lady like that. I could bring you to your knees,
And that is the last offering in this week's on-air music meeting. It is 4 songs off the brand new Ingrid Andress album, Ladylike, and that is the title song. And like I said, really, after I played both and said, I'm kind of pirating this, but I love this song, and people texted me saying, no, that's not the one. Ladylike, that's the song. You got to go get that one. And oddly, I couldn't find it. But so what, did you write it as an anthem for women, or is that just all you? That's all who you are?
It started as just me just talking about myself and how I felt, and like the certain things and frustrations of being, a woman in the South, because I'm from Colorado, and I thought Western and Southern were the same things until I moved here. And they're really not at all. So it took me a second to figure out if I fit in or not. And so this song was basically me being like, well, I don't plan on trying to fit in because this is just who I am. And then, I get so specific in the song, I assume that people probably wouldn't be able to relate to it. But I feel like being that specific actually helped people relate to it more. And so I just love hearing both men and women saying how encouraged they are by the song. And I'm really hoping that it gives people or empowers people to just not apologize for who they are, so that they can just express how they actually feel.
So do you think that, and you referenced this earlier, and I'm not going to ask it that way, I'm going to ask it a different way. It's interesting to me, and I think all of these songs on this project all sound different, and you made a point earlier about who you're writing with, and the folks that you are writing with, your close circle, your friends, are not what you would consider, I don't think, traditional Nashville writers who have a whole bunch of cuts. Would you agree?
Yes, I do agree. And it started off unintentional, but then the more we wrote, I was like, we're creating a very specific sound together. And whatever I would write with those bigger Nashville writers, it just, sometimes they steer the ship in the way that has brought them success before, to where it just sounds like we're writing something that's already been done. And I was not into that. So
wow.
And and just as an interesting comparison, the other artist that's broken out the last couple of years who did basically the same thing is Luke Combs, in that all of his co-writers, not all of them, but the great majority of them, I believe the stat was the other day that there was, in his 7th number one, there was 20 different writers who had their first number one as well.
I love that so much. I think to me that is how you establish the next sound. It moves the genre forward. If you just keep using the same people who are massively talented, and don't get me wrong, love writing with all of them, but I feel like as far as creating a new sound as an artist, it's important to create your own group of people to come up with. I don't know. I feel like it's also a Nashville way of doing things.
Well, and it's also a way to get yourself to stand apart, right? I mean, if you sound like somebody else, it's really, really hard for people to distinguish who you are.
Totally. And I wouldn't want to listen to my music if I sounded like somebody else. I'd be like, oh, well, why are you trying to be Faith Hill, Ingrid? You are not Faith Hill, even though that would be amazing.
Right. Exactly.
Well, and I think I don't want to go into this really at this point, but I think that's such a key, is that, the whole argument or debate or whatever you want to talk about women in country music and country radio, which we've never really understood that debate because we play them a lot, is because,
which I love.
It's because there is a lot of sameness. And right now there's 3 female records in the top 10, which is Marin, you, and Gabby, and all of them sound different. They don't sound the same. Right. And I think that's the key.
I agree.
Totally. And that's what I think is so cool about it, which is why I don't think any of us feel competitive with each other, because it's everybody's bringing something fresh to the table. And I feel like that's what artistry is. So, I feel like it's all heading in a great direction, because I think everybody's just owning their sound and not feeling like they need to be something that they're not.
Ingrid Andress, thank you so much for taking the time.
I'm usually pretty up on this, but I'm a little out of practice and out of sorts. But you were out this summer, assuming that we have a summer. Are you with Tim McGraw?
Yes, she
I
is.
am.
Okay.
Yeah. I know that because I'm so excited about her coming.
Like I said, I'm a little out of practice because we haven't had any shows for a while. But
I know.
when is that supposed to start?
It starts in July, I believe.
Okay.
Then you should be fine.
Like right.
Yeah.
Second week of July, maybe. So.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Hope.
Again, we're really excited about this. We're excited about you taking the time to be with us. Congratulations on the record. Congratulations on the single.
Yeah.
It's just so
name
awesome.
of the record, by the way, is Ladylike, and it's just so good. Ingrid
And it is
Andress.
out. It's out
yes,
now.
It is out.
This is Tuesday. It came out last Friday. I realize for those of you who are sheltered in place, it's hard to remember what day it is, but it is Tuesday, and it came out last Friday.
Exactly. Thank you so
guys
much.
so much.
And
I
for the rest of
appreciate you.
y'all, we will be back next week with another 4 songs.